Welcome back everybody. Today we're gonna play Yoru on Lotus. Today is day 147 of playing every agent on every map. Today's agent Yoru is, in my opinion, still pretty overpowered. His ability to have 2 TPs, to just TP out anywhere and play really aggressive on defense, getting a lot of map information, is really strong on a map like Lotus. Like that, you can have a Yoru holding one side of the map, for example on A or on C, and the rest of your team can just hold B and A together. Like that, you can also have early information over people pushing A side, and you can also fight the enemies pretty well. You can also do a lot of trap plays with a Yoru, for example with his flashes and even with his clones to kind of fake the enemies out. And in general, I think Yoru has so much potential, but a lot of people just kind of see him as a new meta agent because of the way they play it in pro play, and they don't really see the abilities that you can actually do with a Yoru. Starting up with A side, and in general something that is really strong with Yoru. On Yoru, you can have your TP go somewhere else to fast rotate towards that side. You can, for example, throw a TP from right here towards the CT spawn, and then you have a fast rotate over towards C. This allows your team to be almost stacked on every side the enemies are hitting, and makes it really hard for them to take the space. If they are coming towards A though, you can use a flash like this in the beginning of the round to kind of stop them from pushing you. You also have to warn your teammates that you're flashing right here, else they're going to be full flash and you're going to have some angry teammates. Like that, dodge your flash and then peek out. Or you can also send a clone in and hide kind of behind here. As soon as they shoot the clone, or as soon as they're trying to go for the clone, you can peek out and kill them. Other options are also flashes over here that you have to warn your teammates from, or you get all the way close up here, jump spot. If you see anyone, you can also throw a flash like this. This flash is better for your teammates that are playing behind you, because they are not really going to get flashed that often, because they're more likely playing towards back here, maybe even taking the ult or do something like that in general. Something that I recommend on a Yoru is that you always take aggressive space on defense. Because like that, you can get a lot of map space and get a lot of information over where the enemies are playing and what their plans are. And then you can just TP back if you don't feel safe anymore, or just hold the space, throw maybe another TP back if they are actually like coming here. So for example, you took the A main space, the enemies went towards C, but now they're coming back, you can get one kill, and then you can just TP out. To make yours 2P even more safer, and that is something you can learn from pro play, is you either peek, go away and then TP, or you peek, kill, and then look at the floor to make it harder for the enemies to hit your head. Like that, you can have an easier time TPing out and make sure that you survive most of the encounters, even if you're TPing away after you have gotten one kill. You are still gonna die sometimes, but most of the times this is the safest way to kind of TP out as a Yoru. Other than that, you can also play back here on a Yoru, hold the main space. As soon as you hear somebody, use either flashes up here, flashes up here, or even flashes like this, and then peek out. It is really important that when you flash on a Yoru that you call it to your teammates, so your teammates don't get full flash. Because you can always TP out, and the only other agent that can actually also do that is a chamber. And other than that, your teammates are going to get full flash and the enemies are just going to be able to take the space more easily. Another really strong thing on a Yoru is to kind of use your clone as fake steps. So you can use your clone, for example, towards backside, just place him right here, and then use a flash, for example, like this. You can also use a fake TP, spawn the fake clone, he makes 2 steps, so you make the enemies think, yeah, you are actually backside, and then you peek around the corner from right here in a spot where they don't really expect you. This is something really strong and that is pretty unique to a Yoru. Also, his ability to actually hold the site and still play retake is pretty good. So for example, you can have a TP that is saved back, try to fight the enemies that are coming in from a tree, with flashes like these, peek out, and then TP out. Like this, you have a fight, you can maybe get a kill and then get out and then wait for your team to come there and play retake. Another really strong tool on a retake is Yoru's ult. For Yoru's ult, I always recommend that you either have a shorty with you or just any other shotgun as well. You can then use your ult, spot out where the enemies are at. It is really important that you get as much info with your Yoru ult as you can, because it's basically a better Sova drone. And then you can use flashes and then TP back. It is also pretty important that you make sure that you have a isolated fight on the person that you're trying to go for a flash on or for a kill, because if you're not, you can get killed by a teammate and make it pretty hard for you to get value out of it, and also you're most likely going to die. Now switching over towards B, and on B something that is really strong is again to have a TP going somewhere else and to play aggressive on B main. You can either decide to play aggressive like this, just walk out and go for a peek, maybe with a flash, maybe even with a clone, or this off angle right here is insanely strong. Most of the times the enemies are not really going to clear this off angle, you can get a kill and then you can just TP out. Like that, you have an easy first blood, and it makes it really easy for you to take the space. Other than that, also playing aggressive here on main, over towards behind these boxes, playing in an off angle right here, or even further behind right here, making sure that you are not getting hit by the spam that is coming through these boxes, and then TPing out can be insanely strong. Some more things you can do is to flash out of here, with flashes like these, or if there is a smoke right here, even a flash at the floor, and then peek out, get a kill, and then get out again. Also, something that I think is also pretty good is using a TP here, and then playing towards this close area right here on the door, then either destroying this door and playing for with your teammates that are playing towards A, playing close here, or playing here for the enemies to come in towards B, hold them, use maybe a clone, or use flashes like these, flashing everyone on site, and then just CPing out and going over towards the other side, so you can have a retake with your team from a different spot. Or one last spot, this close corner, most of the times does not get checked, sometimes it gets checked with util, and even if it does, you can just break the util and get out with a TP, or stay there and try to get a kill. And now switching over towards C, and on C is actually a spot or a thing you can do with a Yoru almost every round to get a lot of information for your team. You can peek out here, walk all the way up into this corner, walk over towards this corner, hide behind mount. There's so many spots in C you can hide and make it really hard for the enemies to take the space. And if they are coming in, you can use flashes like these, or even flashes like these. And peek the enemies close, and then just TP out after you have gotten a kill or two. And a really well-known play, but that works pretty well most of the times, is a play like this. You let the enemies come in, as soon as you hear steps, you flash here, and then you go for a kill, maybe even two, and then get out. This makes it really hard for the enemies to take the C space, and even if you don't flash them with the first one, you're most likely going to flash them with the second one, and it's going to be insanely hard for them to take this space. Other really good spots on a Yoru are on top of these boxes, just waiting for the enemies to come in and then having a TP to get out. This is especially strong on eco rounds, where you, for example, have a stinger, just wait for them to come in and then TP out. Or also towards backside, because most of the times there's going to be a lot of util towards backside, but if they like have cleared that out with util most of the times, you can also just peek out and then TP out, or you can just wait here, hope they are not using any util. If they are using util, you just TP out, and if they're not using any util, you can either wait for them to walk in by holding an off angle from backside, or you can even play aggressive with a flash like this, or even a flash like this, and then peek out. All of these flashes are pretty good, but you again have to kind of warn your teammates of those. Or what you can also do is to play close here on top of these boxes, go for a kill, and then TP out. The same way it is Yoru's job on defense to be a nuisance to the enemy team and take as much space as they can, you can also do that on attack. You can even fake really well with the Yoru. For example, you're sending your TP over towards C, have half of your team on C, and have maybe one person with you. Then you use a clone, you use a lot of flashes, make a lot of noise, make it obvious that you are going towards A, your team is waiting on C, you go in. Even if you can get the space, you can even maybe go for a tap on the spike, and then you just TP out and go over towards C. Like that, the enemies think, yeah, you're over towards A if they are playing for a retake, and even if they're not playing for a retake, you can make a lot of noise, make it really hard for the enemies to guess that you're not going C, maybe even open the door, just make a lot of noise on A, and then TP back towards C. Like that, you have a easy fake on a Yoru that you can even do on a pistol round. Other than that, if you are fighting A with your team, you can use flashes up here close. Again, tell that to your team. Same thing also with a flash like this, or with flashes all the way over here. The ones in the back are not really good flashes, because most of the times they're not going to flash the enemies that are pushing up like this. But if the enemies like to go into this close corner right here, they're going to get flashed by a flash right there, and it's going to make it pretty hard for them to play in this area. You can then also jump spot these boxes and even spam around. Another really good thing is with a flash like that, you can wait in the beginning of the round, send your TP over towards this side, use a flash deep, TP over, and then you will see the halo of the enemies. Most of the times they're even jumping back, and you will see the halo of your flash. So you can just spam them right where you see the halo and do a lot of damage to them. Other than that, this TP over is a pretty strong thing, because most of the times the enemies are going to use util here in main, and with a TP over, you're pretty much safe, and you make it really easy for your team to take this space. Other than that, using your clone, for example here on tree, to clear out the close corners, and even spamming behind these boxes, can be pretty strong, so you can have all of the tree space pretty easily. Also, using flashes, for example right here, or even right here, can be pretty strong. Another really strong thing is most of the times the enemies are throwing a smoke right here. So you can use a clone that goes through this smoke, make sure nobody's in the smoke, and then use flashes like these to get out of this smoke. With a flash like this, you still have to clear this close corner, but anyone playing in this close corner, playing on site, and even playing towards stairs, if you have no smoke right here, is gonna get full blinded, and you're gonna have an easy time killing them. And even if you think, yeah, you're not safe anymore, you can just TP out. Talking about TPs, you can also use a TP towards site like this, and then use a flash at the same spot, and then TP in. This is kind of a risky thing, but it can work pretty well sometimes, especially on eco runs or on runs where you have some util, for example, for backside, like a breach stun coming through here or something like that. Just in general, I recommend that you have, with your Yoru TPs, a utility thing coming in, making sure the enemies cannot really play on the spots that you are in danger from. With a TP right here, you're mostly in danger from main, and you're mostly in danger from people playing backside and then spamming you through these boxes, or from the people in tree. But if you are using that TP at the same time your teammates are taking tree and there's some util coming through this lane and you flashing here close, you can use this TP to a pretty effective way and then get into the site pretty easily. To clear out backside, I recommend flashes or even clone. Let your clone take first contact and then clear around the corner. Something that also works sometimes is fake cloning. So if you condition the enemies to that you always throw the same clone, after some time they will not shoot it anymore, and that is your time to fake clone. Just walk in, follow that clone, and then get information like that for your team, and then turn around and kill the enemies that you walked past. If you have an ult, I recommend that you are clearing out tree. Make sure that this door is open, clearing out tree, making sure nobody is in tree, and then going towards backside and even drop, clear out nobody is there. If you see people, for example, in heaven, going out of your ult right here is a pretty safe thing because you are in a safe spot and the enemies are going to have a hard time shooting you. They can use util, but you still can use a TP to just get back. And if you see somebody on backside and you're coming out of your ult here, you can use a flash like this to flash the people on backside and also the people that are playing on heaven and make it really easy for you to fight those people. Other than that, you can also combine a Sova ult, maybe even a breach ult or an omen flash with your util, especially if you're in your ult, because like that, the util can be precise on the enemies, and with an omen flash or even a fade ult, the enemies are not going to be able to hear you go out of your ult and you're going to have an easy time killing them. Now switching over towards B, and if the enemies have somebody that is playing B on this line right here, or even behind these boxes, you can use a TP in the beginning of the round right in this corner. Like that, as soon as your teammates are close here, you can use either a flash, maybe even a clone, or just any util here to make the enemies that are playing here in main afraid that you can peek from both sides and they have to go back. Same thing also with the person that is playing back here. They're afraid that you can peek them from here or from here, like your teammates are coming from main, and the enemies are gonna have a hard time getting out, and you can just spam through these boxes if you see anyone. Other than that, also using your TP to get towards site with a simple TP like this, use a flash, and then TP in, is a pretty strong thing because most of the times the enemies are not really going to be ready for somebody to TP there, and then you can clear out this close corner, clear out here, and also clear out the heaven area. The people on heaven are most likely going to hold you from coming out of main, same thing with these people in link, and also the people from CT, so a TP right here is probably one of the safest things you can do on the B side. Other TPs that are pretty safe is a TP towards side like this, with a flash either through main like this, and then you can jump out and fight the enemies in heaven, or even use a flash like this to fight the enemies in heaven as well. Just always keep in mind that the people from here can peek you pretty easily, and your teammates in main can't really see them early enough, so you have to kind of worry about that as well. So using a breach stun here is also not a bad idea. And now switching over towards C, and on C you can take this ult orb here pretty easily. What you can do if you think the enemies are going to peek you early is to use a flash up here, just one of your teammates, or even a flash a little deeper like this, so you don't flash your teammates. Or you can even use a clone here close. Another thing that I don't see a lot of people do on a Yoru ult is to use a TP to get more space, and make sure you can clear out more space with your Yoru ult. So for example, you clear out all of the space in main, and you can already clear out the site. Like this, you have an easy time clearing out the site, and you have most of your Yoru ult for the site, and only a little bit for the main space. If you would use your Yoru ult all the way back here without a TP, you can you have to walk all the way up here, and you don't have that much time to clear out the site anymore. And then if you're in your Yoru ult and use a TP, just make sure you have a safe TP back if you are in a situation where you can't really get a kill. Also, clearing up backside is not too bad of an idea. Another thing that you can do with a Yoru is to just TP right here. This is a pretty safe TP. It is kind of risky to do it sometimes because you can get spammed, or you can, for example, get into a Cypher trip, but most of the times you can TP there with pretty much no repercussions. Making sure to clear out these close boxes. This is the angle you have to be most careful about, and then towards backside you can just use flashes or clones to clear that out. Or even flashes like this to clear out the people that are playing on site, and then go around this corner. Other than that, also playing a little more aggressive towards CT, especially out of the smokes, is a pretty good idea on a Yoru, with either flashes like this, or flashes out of the smoke like this. And then fighting the people that are coming in CT. Same thing also with Waterfall, especially if they have a Killjoy ult, because you as a Yoru can always TP back if you have a TP setup, and you can play pretty aggressive. If the enemies have a Killjoy ult, you can even decide to stay on the site, fight for as long as you can when the enemies are coming in and thinking, yeah, you're off the site because you have a TP to just get out. So you can, for example, play close here, wait for the enemies to come in, even playing close on top of these boxes, get a kill, and then just TP out. Even if you get detained, it doesn't really matter, you're in a safe spot, and all of your team mates that are trying to dodge the Killjoy ult are gonna be able to help you out. If I had to give Yoru a rating from S to F on Lotus, I'd actually give him the S tier. In my opinion, Yoru is one of the strongest agents in the game currently, with his TPs, his flashes, and also his clone. He is a really strong agent that can be used as an initiator, kind of with his flashes, and also as a duelist. Also kind of as a side anchor and a fast rotate. So wherever you play a Yoru, you always have a lot of options and a lot of ways to outplay the enemies and take a lot of space. So in my opinion, Yoru is probably the strongest agent in the game right now, and it's really worth playing a Yoru instead of, for example, a Reyna or a Jett. That would be it from me. If you want to see any other agent on any other map, write them down in the comments, and if you want to see anything else Valorant related, write it down there as well. And as always, don't forget to like and sub, and come say hi to me on Twitch, where I stream almost daily. Have a great rest of your day, and see you guys very soon. Bye!